Happy holidays, everyone. Today I'm going to do round 2 between Home Alone 3, Home Alone 4, and Home Alone Holiday Heist to see which one is worse. Now, a few years ago during the Advent calendar, I did a versus between these and I did a different format than usual. That was my very first time. Now, obviously, it was my first time, so I forgot to do production companies and Rotten Tomatoes. I was still adjusting with that. But today we're going to do round 2 and see which one is worse. All right, let's do this. Home Alone 3. Now, this movie was released on December 12th, 1997, distributed by 20th Century Fox, but the production companies are Hughes Entertainment and Fox Family Films. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 35%, but why? Well, let's start with the story itself. The story is of these national criminals and all that. Yeah, I know, this story's crazy. And they decide to go to Chicago because someone accidentally got the wrong toy car. Like, the toy car is in that chip, so now they have to get it. It's crazy. Anyways, there's this kid named Alex who has to skip school because he got a bit sick, shall we say the least. And basically, his mom has to leave for at least an hour and all that, so he's home alone for a bit. But while that's happening, the criminals decide to live in the neighborhood, and so now Alex has to stop him. But he decides to call the police 2 times, but it doesn't go so well. And the siblings are just being rude for, like, no reason. I don't know. It's an annoying experience for him. But he's like, you know what? Fine. I'll do it myself. And eventually, later on, he finally makes the traps and all that stuff. And eventually, he stops the criminals and all that. Let's go. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the story and all that. Now, this movie itself is very messed up. I don't know what happened. The funny thing is, this movie is written by John Hughes, which is interesting. So, I don't know why John Hughes managed to mess it up a bit. Because this doesn't take place during Christmas time. This takes place like during January or something, which is weird. I don't know why that is the case, but that's the case. And I don't know, this is such a weird story. I don't know what's it with this, movie and all that stuff. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know why this is such the case, but oh well. Home Alone 4, or Home Alone 4 Taking Back the House. This was released on November 3rd, 2002, and this was actually a television movie made by ABC, but its production company being Fox Television Studios. Now, there's an audience score, which gives it a 23%, but why is the case? Well, let's read the summary, shall we? This actually takes place with Kevin. No, I'm serious, Kevin, but not the Kevin we're all used to. No, it's just a weird Kevin that we don't like, Anyways, Kevin's, getting antsy with his siblings and all that, and basically his dad has a new girlfriend after he divorced his soon-to-be ex-wife, Kate, but Kevin just isn't having fun, so he decides to go with his dad instead to his rich new house and all that stuff and have fun there. And things seem pretty decent or something. Sorry. But this movie is really messing me up right now. I'm sorry. But anyways, there's Marv and his wife show up. Marv from the first 2 movies, except he's different, and he also has his wife for, no reason. Anyways, basically, there's this guy named Mr. Prescott who he thinks is the mole of this entire situation and all that stuff and the entire story. Now, I won't give into details of, what's going on, but I can tell you this. There is a servant or something like that, a maid. That's what I meant to say. But the maid turns out to be the mole. And it's revealed to be Marv's mom. And, eventually Kevin's not happy about this. And while this is happening, he eventually sets up booby traps and all that stuff. And wow. The booby traps are crazy, not gonna lie, again. It's like Home Alone 3, there was also traps too. He eventually stops them and all that stuff, like I mentioned. But this is on a whole nother level and all that. And eventually, Kevin's dad decides to go back to his wife and all that stuff. And his girlfriend gets nothing. The girlfriend sucks, by the way. Anyways, yeah, this movie's really messing up, by the way, which explains a lot because this movie is bad, really bad, really bad. I don't know what's going on here, but this movie just really sucks. I don't know what it is, but like this movie just isn't that fun at all. I don't know what happened, but it's not that great, but it's not worse than Home Alone, The Holiday Heist. My God, what happened to this movie? First of all, this was released on November 25th, 2012. Again, this is another television Home Alone movie. This was released on ABC Family, production company meaning Fox Television Studios. Again, with Rotten Tomatoes by audience 26%. This movie can go die in a hole. No offense, but basically the gist of this movie is that basically Finn's family, Finn, my bad. Again, these movies are really messing me up. I'm sorry, guys. But Finn's family decides to move and all that stuff. And basically, there's a snowstorm happening all of a sudden. He has a sister. Like, things aren't going fun. Finn also meets a friend. But yeah, again, like I mentioned, there's a snowstorm happening. And while this is happening, there's some burglars who want a painting and all that stuff. His sister gets trapped somewhere. Basically, Finn decides, you know what, I'm going to go stop these burglars myself. I don't need to summarize the entire movie because that is literally the summary. This movie is so bland. I don't know what it is. It's just the traps are bad. The movie itself is unforgettable. There's not even any good jokes here and there. I know Home Alone 3 and 4 are bad, but at least there were some decent, funny moments, even if they weren't supposed to be funny. But this is just bad. I don't know why this movie needs to exist. There's a reason why people forget about it, and I can completely understand why. After going through all three movies, I can safely say Home Alone, The Holiday Heist is bad. Just because this movie isn't good at all. This movie's unforgettable. And I agree with my original statement when I did for the first round of this. For the second round, the same opinion. This movie is so bad that no one has ever talked about it. It's the same with Home Alone 4, but this is just worse. I don't know what happened, but this movie is just unforgettable. It's so bland. No one even talks about it. It's bad, and I can safely say this is the worst Home Alone movie I've ever watched. Anyways, happy holidays. Do not watch any of these movies, and have a good day.